Hello everyone, my name is Courtney, also known as She Travelled the World, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I have been putting this off for like a year now and it's finally time that I start my YouTube channel. So welcome. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a Q&A, get to know me kind of thing. You guys only ever see my photos on Instagram, so I thought it'd be a good kind of starter. I asked you to ask me some questions, so I'm going to go through those as well as some generic like what is your name kind of questions. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So I've written all the questions down on my phone and we're going to start with the generic like where are you from kind of things. So number one, what is your name? My name is Courtney Renee Leopard. Leopard is my last name. I get asked that quite a lot actually. How old are you? I am 20, turning 21 at the end of the month. When is your birthday? The 27th of May 1998. So I have 14 days till my birthday. Do you have any siblings? No, I am an only child. Where did you grow up? So I moved around a lot when I was younger. So I was born in England, and then when I was about 2.5 I moved to Sydney, and then I moved to Brisbane, and then I moved to New Zealand, and then I moved back to Brisbane, and then I moved to England, and then I moved to Brisbane, which is where I did high school. So from like 11 years old till 18 years old I grew up in Brisbane. So that is why I sound Australian. Yeah. And then when I was 18 I moved to England, so I live in England now. How tall are you? I am 5'10", which is like 178 centimeters I think, so I'm quite tall. Dogs or cats? Dogs. What is your favorite drink? Probably like an oat milk flat white, or like a pressed juice or something, or if we're talking alcoholic then like vodka lemonade, something really simple. Can you speak another language? So in school I did German for 3 years, and then I did Mandarin for 4 years, and I can't speak either of them because I haven't practiced in nearly 4 years. Oh no, like 6 years, so no I can't. How long was your longest relationship? It was 8 months I think, 8 or 9 months. 8 months I think. Do you have any bad habits? Yes, I have this really annoying habit of like, if I'm getting dressed or cooking or something, I'll leave all the drawers and cupboards open, I won't close them again. And it really irritates my mum. I will just like never close them, and I don't know why, it's just a habit I've done for years. So that's my bad habit. Favorite Netflix show? I just rewatched You with the guy from Gossip Girl, which I love. I literally loved that series. I also really like How to Get Away with Murder. That's a really good one. Or Brooklyn Nine-Nine if I just want like a good comedy show. Uber Eats order. I don't really order Uber Eats now, but when I was in New Zealand I was obsessed with Uber Eats. And I would always order Lord of the Fries, which is like a vegan burger place. It's literally so good. I highly recommend trying it if you're ever in New Zealand or Australia. How many countries have you visited? I have been to 42 countries I think, somewhere around there, 41 or 42. Biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve in the entire world is slow walkers. Like, it actually makes me so angry. Whenever I'm in like a really touristy busy place like Oxford Street in London or anything like that, I actually just get so angry I have to leave, like, because people are so like inconsiderate. They'll walk in a line like this, they're like dawdling around in the middle of the street. It's like, move out the way. Some of us have like places to go. It drives me crazy. So like, slow walkers is my biggest hate in the world. So those are the like generic questions, and now we're gonna get into the questions you guys asked. There are a lot of them, so I will try and not talk for 7 years. The first one is the biggest challenge while traveling. For me, it's I wear myself out very easily because I'm such an extroverted person that I always just want to be in other people's company. And when you're doing that for weeks and months on end, it does get very mentally draining. And so sometimes I'll just have like a day where I'll just break down and I'll just be crying because I haven't looked after myself and I haven't had the time to kind of regroup and like assess my mental state. And like you just need, when you're traveling, you just need a day to like chill and just regroup and like watch Netflix and all that kind of stuff. And like sometimes I just forget to do that because I'm so excited to be like, oh, new people, and like let's go do all these things and all that kind of stuff. So that's my biggest challenge. How do you edit your stories? I get asked this on the daily. It's an app called Unfold, and so it's free, but like some of the template packs you have to pay for. So you like, all the template packs are down here and they have a heap of different designs in the packs, and you can like put your own photos in and text and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It makes your stories look really cool. Do you travel with friends? When I was younger, so like 18, I traveled a lot with friends. I never really considered traveling by myself. So my first couple of big trips I went with friends, which I had the best time. But now I prefer traveling by myself. I like the independence of being able to do what I want when I want, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, now I travel by myself, but I normally like meet up with people who I've met before. Like usually people who I know will be in the same kind of area, so we'll meet up and hang out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mainly travel by myself. What is your favorite place you've traveled to? Nepal is my favorite country ever. I love Nepal. I always talk about it. If not, I would choose like Croatia or Spain, or the South Island of New Zealand I think is also really special. So probably those are my top favorites. What are your biggest fears? I am incredibly claustrophobic, like severely claustrophobic. I've had it since I was a kid. Like any kind of small space, especially if there's water involved, I can't stand. It makes me freak out. I remember I was with my ex-boyfriend in Costa Brava, which is like an hour north of Barcelona, and we were on this kayaking tour, and one of the parts was like you could go into this cave and like you could go in and like go back out on the kayak, and my ex was like, yeah, let's do it. Everyone else is doing it, and like it was like obviously a cave with water in it, and inside it was pitch black, and we started going in, and I just remember I was like, I'm about to scream, like I cannot go in here. So I was like, James, we need to like get out now, and he was like, no, it's fine, and I remember I started like panicking, and I was like, oh my god. So being claustrophobic, I absolutely hate anything. Yeah. When are you coming to North Macedonia? I will be coming at the end of the month. I will be leaving in like a week to go there, which I'm very excited about. How did you end up in Dublin? It's rare for people to randomly be in Ireland. So my dad actually works for an Irish airline company, and I was living with my ex-boyfriend at the time, and we were living in England together, and it was just very stressful. Like it was too much, and my parents were living in Ireland, and I kind of was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Ireland, and I moved to Ireland and just didn't go back to England. So I lived with my parents for like 8 months in Ireland, Dublin, and then I moved back out. What's your favourite sandwich? It was a very specific sandwich. I've only ever eaten it once. It was when I was in Switzerland, and we went to this place in Lauterbrunnen, which is literally amazing. I highly recommend going there. But it was like tofu and grilled veggies with like this tomato peanut butter like sauce. oh my god, it was unreal. It was like €18 or something ridiculously expensive, but it was so worth it. So that's my favourite sandwich. Before you became an Instagram sensation, what did you want to do with your life? When I was like 8, I really wanted to be a hairdresser. I was convinced I was going to be a hairdresser for so long. And then when I was like 14, it kind of moved to being an actress, because every young girl wants to be an actress at some point. And then when I was like 16, it kind of moved to like a drama or a history teacher. And then when I finished school, I wanted to do like photography or film, but I never thought it would be blogging or anything like that. But it would, if I wasn't doing this, I'd definitely still be working in like film or, you know, wedding photography or something in that realm. Do you decide whether you want to go somewhere a few months earlier or closer to the trip? I'm a very impulsive person, so I always kind of plan closer to the trip, so anywhere between like 6 to 2 weeks before I travel, I'll kind of book something. The floorboards are creaking, but no one's home. That's really scary. But like for big trips, so when I went to New Zealand, I had kind of booked maybe like 9 months in advance, just because it's cheaper to book further in advance, obviously. Love you so much. Do you have a skincare routine while traveling, and if so, what products do you use? I have been blessed with incredibly acne prone skin which is such a fun thing to try and deal with when you're traveling. So I always try and switch up products to find something that works for my skin. At the moment I use this serum day and night. I'll leave what it is on like the screen here. It has helped my skin a lot. I highly recommend it. I'll also leave it linked below. And this moisturiser, which my nan actually bought for me, which is really good for like moisturising your skin and stuff, because I get quite dry skin like under my eyes. So I'll leave that on the screen as well and linked down below. And then other than that, I'm quite lazy. I'll just like wipe off my makeup at night and like wash my face. But other than that, that's like pretty much it. How old were you when you knew you wanted to travel? I was 14 when I made my first like travel mood board. I was obsessed with Tumblr when I was 14, and I stuck all these pictures on this like pin board, and that's when I was like, I want to live like a life where I can travel and I want to go to all these places. And then the idea was kind of like in the back of my mind for ages, like growing up. And then when I was like 19 and I properly started blogging, that's when I was kind of like, if everyone else can be living this life, then so can I. So that's when it kind of like cemented in my mind that if they can do this, I can do this. Where was your first trip? So I traveled a lot when I was younger with my parents. I went to India and Nepal after I graduated high school, and then I went to France, Switzerland, Italy and Greece on my first like backpacking in Europe in 2016. Where was your first solo trip? I went to Luxembourg in 2017. It was actually really beautiful, and if you haven't been, I highly recommend going. It's really nice. Do you keep in touch with the people you've met on your travels? 100%. I'd say in every 10 friends, like 9 of them are people who I've met traveling. Like, people are just so much friendlier when they're traveling, because everyone's in the same boat. Everyone isn't with their like big friend groups from home and stuff, so you're always gonna meet people and like become best friends with them. And my favorite thing is like, you don't necessarily hang out with them for the length of time you hang out with like your friends from school or home or whatever, but you have this very like short, intense friendship where you like do everything together and you like learn all these things about each other, and I love that. And like, even though you might know someone for like 48 hours, you know so much about them and you have that very intense, fun, like incredible bond. So yeah, like most of my like best friends are people who I've met traveling. We still hang out. I still meet them if I'm in like the same kind of area as them. Yeah. What subjects did you take in school? I took English, maths, ancient history, modern history, drama and geography. All the artsy kind of subjects. What were you like in school? Were you planning on going to uni, or was it always travel? In my second last year of school, I was always like, gap year, I'm gonna go on a gap year. And I planned to go to Vietnam. I had put the deposit down to volunteer at an orphanage for 2.5 months in Vietnam. And then in my last year of school, I was kind of like, yeah, gap year. And then I got to like the last term and I freaked out and I was like, oh my god, everyone else is going to university. And I kind of put it off until December, which is when you get like your uni offers and stuff. And I got the offer for the course I wanted, which was arts, majoring in French and film, and I got offered that and I was like, maybe I should take it. So I took it and I was like, I'm just gonna go to uni because everyone else is going to uni, which is like, you shouldn't do that. And I went to university for 3 weeks. So the first week was like O week, which is the week where you go party and all that kind of stuff. The second week was a week of lectures, and then the third week of like classes and tutorials I just didn't go because I was like, this is not what I wanted, like. And so after that third week I dropped out and I just never went back to university. So that is what happened. How and where did you start traveling to become She Traveled the World? So once I dropped out of uni after my 3 weeks, I worked 2 jobs for about 5 months, I think. So I was working like a lot of hours, saving up, and then just before my 18th birthday I booked a flight to England. So I came to England a week after I turned 18. I was very lonely and I didn't have a lot of friends. I found my expectations in my head weren't the same as what the reality was, and I started dating my ex and I was traveling a lot as it was, and he kept saying to me, you should start blogging, and I was like, no one would read it, it's silly, blah blah blah. And he was like, no, you should, like, you'd be good at it, you're good at photography. And then just before my 19th birthday I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna go for it. So I set up my blog. It took me like 2 months to set up like my first blog, and then I started posting on my blog to kind of tell my friends back home what I was up to. And then I started using Instagram as a way of telling people that I was posting on my blog. There we are now here. So that is how She Traveled the World was born. So thank you to James who told me to start blogging. Where is at the top of your bucket list? Mongolia. I've been obsessed with Mongolia for so long, so it would be literally so cool to go there. Yeah, and I think that's probably pretty much it. I hope you guys like this. I hope you learned something about me, and I will hopefully see you guys very, very soon. Alright, see you guys later.